good morning. Welcome to the breakfast show. This is Martin here, and of course this morning for the week 28th of July we will be covering the US SmartRobie. That's right. Now the US SmartRobie, those of you who don't know, we are in a very nice rally going up higher. So we'll be exploring on the US market. And also for our members, we'll be doing the US market this Monday night too, which is actually tonight. We'll start at 9:30 for those of you who are member. And I would like to welcome you to our breakfast show. So let's get on with our breakfast show with SmartRobie in the US market. Now, of course, we are very proud of our Pentagon Guider showing you that it works. As you can see, all you gotta do at the bottom left hand side of the apps, which I'm going to show you shortly, you can click on it, especially those of you who are the beginner. And this is Tom with a trade on the US market making 8.22%. And we're going to show you also some of our past trade that we did, I think about 2 weeks ago. Those has done very nicely. We're going to do that as the Pentagon chart of the week. All right, and also congratulations, this was from our past campaign that we did, Mr. Yi making a 19.5%, a real trade, real money on the trade with the RHB Investment Bank. And of course you can check out all our trading bot that is trading, managing a portfolio of 50,000 using all the trade idea that is generated in here, very positive, and also our win rate for our SmartRobie in here. Now, of course, for those of you who are very familiar with our SmartRobie, we usually have the buy, call, and stock chart and watch list. So a lot of the analytics are already done by the AI Insight, and pretty much of today, they will talk about even Sam Altman saying that we are really dependent on AI. And like it or not, I think that's how the future going forward. People are looking for what we call a much convenient way to analyze their stocks and having managing, and I think SmartRobie will one of the solution. And of course, if you want stock trade idea, which is the focus of our breakfast show, will be this trade idea where we buy stock and sell stock, and also the stock quote where you can study the FA, study the TA, and also others. We also cover market today. Now this morning in here, focus primarily on the US market. So let's check out the SmartRobie on the US market on the S&P 500. And of course, we all know Pentagon Guider is the algo powering the SmartRobie in here, telling green to buy and red to sell. So let's take a look at the SmartRobie tutorial, and you can see we have S&P 500, all the options. All these are the green options, which is the 6 basic options that you see in here. And let's look at the S&P 500 this morning. All right. So definitely I'm just going to bring up the phone that you all have. So click on that. You can see right behind me here the S&P 500. I can see my mouse here, Robie FA trending stocks. So generally for the breakfast show and for those of you on boarding, we want to be focusing on Pentagon Guider, which is our flagship here. So S&P 500, click on that one, and you can see just using my finger to scroll down, you can see that I think last week market was up 0.4%, up 25 points. It's been green Pentagon since 26th of June, up 3.9% in here. Okay, we have Intel, which was one of the biggest loser, active, down 8%. Tesla was up 3%. Nvidia unchanged almost. Then we look at the big gainer, wow, $25. Exxon. Then we have GEV, which is a General Electric. Then we have VeriSign. We got decliner. Chartered was down 18%. Okay, down 18%. That was on the 25th of July, which was last week. Charter Communications here. We got services was also down 2%. ServiceNow, AutoZone, and Booking also down. Westfield and so forth. Okay, so those are the charts that you see right now in here. Okay, so we're going to look at the S&P 500, right? So S&P 500, we will look at the market, and let me just flick this chart here. So you can see from the chart 26, I think that's 26th of July, market is up 3.9%. It's still in a nice, very uptrend, like a stage 2, many of you who are familiar with that. So continue to monitor this. If there is any sign of weakness or what we call a downtrend. All right, so that still looks like the chart is going higher. Pretty much easy to look at that. So use that as a primary moving forward. All right, so next we're going to be looking at the stock chart. Let me just get the screen off in here. Then we have the US market. We just done that, the S&P 500. All right, and we will ask SmartRobie on Pentagon Guider. Okay, Pentagon Guider, which is this option that you see on the bottom left here. So Pentagon Guider it does list out about 10 to 12 of them. All right, so let me just show you Pentagon Guider. So you can see in top here, pops up, and we have about 15. Service now, it's down 3%. It was also dropped into Las Vegas, Sands, Fortite, Port, ECL. Okay, so I have selected 3 of these stocks that's based on very nice chart and also responsiveness in here. D-Dog, okay, it's a technology and real estate. I tend to avoid healthcare, all right, for that matter. So let's take a look at these stocks. Let me just move on to the next slide here, right? And all right, so I'm going to show you an Excel spreadsheet too, right? So you can also check out this Excel spreadsheet, which is this in here, because that will be the so-called an exercise that you can follow. So you can want to do similarly what I do here, putting in the stocks, putting all the information from SmartRobie, and then deciding from there. So when you have adequate information, you tend to make better decisions. And that's how we want to be looking at some of the stocks too in here. So that's a Google sheet. It will be a blank sheet in here. But before that, let's take a look at some of the review some stock from the past episode. Those of you who've been following, I think there was one, you can see a Pentagon chart of the week. I think this was Arista Network. That came in, I believe, was on the 7th, if I'm not mistaken. We'll look at this is a spreadsheet which I've talked about, the QR code. So if you look back on the 7th of July, no, that's for Malaysia. We're going to go down to the 14. 14, what stock was this again? This is Arista Net. So going back to this, Arista Net is, I think, a bit earlier. 7th of July, we got 20 US, 30th of June, yes. It was on the 30th of June when we picked this stock. ANET, okay, that's the one. So this is a spreadsheet of the QR code I was talking about, so you can get that. So ANET turned green Pentagon 26th of July. So if you look at that, 30th of June is when we did our breakfast show on the 30th, and you could see stock went up by 12%. But if you look back on the left hand side, which I want to sort of share with you, it turned green Pentagon. That's where it started to move up very nicely in here. But what was significant is that the market started to make upward after there is a double bottom. All right, and of course I'm using the TradingView Pentagon Guider plugin for this chart, so it's quite different. But if you want to see the same, you can put Arista. Let me just show you on the phone too. This is a premium chart, okay, ANET. So we click that one, and I want to bring up the chart. And you can see that. So that's ANET too, all right? You can see very similar, the chart in here. It's just that it's much easier. I can do a lot of annotation for that matter. So let's turn this off. Okay, so you can see this is where we get that double bottom, all right? I just want to give some of our members here the kind of lessons is important. So you have this double bottom in here. You can see there is spring. That is what we call sign of strength. And then the market reverse up. I think that's also due to some news. The market oversold, and then Arista Net started to make up and giving that top. A lot of technology companies do well, especially this round in here. And if you look at on the SmartRobie, very important information I want to share with you. I'll bring up the chart here, and if you go to the stock comment, and you'll notice, right, we actually have what we call an auto back testing. SmartRobie fact for ANET has a win rate of 58.3% with Pentagon Guider since 25th of January, which is almost 12 back tested trade. So our 12 back tested trade, which is very responsive in here, it had a 58.3% win rate. All right, so this gets add on to that one. All right, so that's something good to know. and you have that information in the SmartRobie in here. All right, next one. If I can get to the next chart, yes, which is the eBay. All right, eBay. Now let's take a look at eBay. When did we select it? That was the 30th of June. So this is the Excel spreadsheet that I will show you every week, so you can see somehow of what I did the previous, so you have some sort of continuity. That will be the US, which is the 14th of July. All right, the 28th of July will be this episode. So you have eBay, which is selected 10th of July. In here, positive here, rated 6 out of 8, and TA, that was pretty good chart in here. So you can see from here, for TA, right, you can see that's the green pentagon. Now, unlike the previous chart, ANET, they have a double bottom. So this one in here has some sort of reducing volume. See that volume reduces? That's before the market push up, and that's 7% return since that green pentagon. Took out the old resistance, push up, but there's a little bit of pullback. That's pretty good. Now, we highly recommend all the listener and members to buy at green pentagon. That's always been our market entry. Buy immediately at the next bar at the beginning and put your stop loss following the trading plan, or you can just put it just below here at 75. Remember, not all trade works. Right now we are getting something like a 45 to 55% win rate for this kind of trades in here. Target profit, I'll leave it up to you, or you can use a target profit from the buy call for the SmartRobie in here. Okay, so those are the two Pentagon Guider chart of the week in here. And of course, if you look back into the chart, we have all the options, stock chart, stock comment, and exit in here. So let's take a look for this week. The chart, which is the 28th of July, what are we looking at? So we have 3 stocks, and let me just bring out the chart where how do I pick this. You can go down to main menu, Pentagon Guider. Okay, so DDOC, this is just my experience when I look at the chart and the sector, so I picked up, just like I pick up ANET on the 7th of July and also eBay on the 20th. Much of those stocks, or some of the stocks I picked may not work. Some of the stocks that I didn't pick may have gone higher. So it's all based individually, and I do hope that this will also. So if you look back, we got the DDOC, okay, DataDoc. And what they are the cloud monitoring. So let's take a look one example. So we click on DDOC number 3, right, and then we go on to what we call stock fundamentals, because we want to know more about the company. Click on stock fundamentals, right, on your phone. So you can see from here it's not rated because the PE is very high. Sector average PE is 56, and this fella is 29 times. ROE is certainly way below the sector average, right? It doesn't pay any dividend. Okay, so this is definitely a trading stock. It's not really. But what do? Click on the URL, data.hq, and that actually takes you to the website to know about it. I went in earlier and I found out they do some sort of cloud monitoring here. Okay, news is neutral. All right, Pentagon flow, which measures the bullishness, is 91%. So definitely from the chart wise, you can see. Then can't make the decision because it's not one of a great stock. Win rate is 41.7%. Now remember previously, right? That win rate was pretty good. Was I think was it eBay or the one ANET? Okay, so you can check out what they do on this website. If not, you just return back to the SmartRobie. And what's the current news sentiment? Okay, so we want our member and those of you who are doing this to also tie back to the current market sentiment. All right, so if you look at the current market sentiment, S&P 500 is green pentagon, right? That's why we look at it early in the morning. And right now it's positive. You got EU and Japan all agreeing and talk of a rate cut possible, right? No replacement of the US Fed chairman, just a little bit update from last 2 weeks on the sentiment. So news sentiment is basically you get it from the so-called, and there's this what we call the buy call. So you can check out the buy call, go to trading plan, click on trading plan for DDOC, and what I did was I just took those texts on top here and transfer to the Google Sheets. Okay, I think most of you have the Google Sheets in here, and it's a bullishness. Then I also append the stock chart here, so you can also study. Now treat this as an onboarding training, right? Don't put any real money yet until you really sort of know what's happening to the market and train this. So this kind of spreadsheet training over a couple of months until you're really ready. The US market will continue to go higher. You can check out my regular Wednesday talk, and I'll be doing a talk this Wednesday in here. So that will get you into the right kind of mood in here. So that's the first one. Second one, we have Palo Alto Network. All right, and how do I get that? So I'll just go back to it's item number, I did have it here. Yeah, item number 5. Okay, that's that stock. So let's look at the chart. Again, charts very similar. All the charts are very, very similar. Okay, and so stock chart, stock comment, hit the click here, and I'm going to just rotate the chart. You can see better. So this one here actually turned green, Pentagon. All right, turned green, Pentagon, but there was a big sell-off, the tech stock, but guess what? It actually have a support, and right now turning green. As I said before, the US market continue to go higher, so this one will actually move favorably. There will be times a lot of the stocks will turn negative in here. Okay, then let's go on to the next one is ECL, which is basic material chemical. Again, when you want to find out more about it, go to stock fundamentals and get those, and then lay out all those Excel information like what I do here, win rate, okay, green Pentagon, the S&P 500, current market sentimental, and the buy call. And also don't forget, put in that chart too. Okay, put in this chart like I put in over up here, and include it. Now this is an exercise that you should do if you're really interested in studying US and doing well, and I do think US market is definitely one way to move forward. So this is something that we want to do to onboard it, and I'll take a look at the top there, which is the win rate is 50%. Wait, that's not too bad. Yeah, 50% in here, and let's hope that this trade will also work out favorably. Then I can share with you in the coming weeks of the stock Pentagon China US market chart of the week, like just what we did with eBay, and with a 7% return, yes, and also ANET, ANET Arista Network with a 12% return, and also the KLSE I will do the same when we get on to next week. Okay, last trade is I think that's ECL. Let's take a look at ECL. So I'll just type ECL here, ECL. Ecolabs. I think they're chemical basic material kind of company in here. Click on the stock chart. Learn more about it by using any of those 6 options. And now this one in here, if you check out, let me just flip this again. You can see nice one in here, really closing in, accumulating, and then pop up in here. Let's see, tonight we'll see that kind of run coming in or not. Now if you look back on this chart here, let's take a look. One of the things I like about Echo Land was, check out, let me just show you this, is the win rate. All right, just on top of me here, 55.6% since 25th of July, 9 trade back tested. Okay, let's hope that this will continue to do well. And then it will be great, right? All right, something that we see in here. Of course, there's no guarantee in trading everything, but I want all our members and the new followers to understand this and actually use this, the whole exercise as, taking all the inputs through AI insights from SmartRobie, and then you as a human analyst managing your own account, trading it in here, to look at those and to increase your so-called probability of getting it right. So that's how we want to do with this US market in here. All right. So so the 6 options. Many of you would have seen it already. All right, 1 to 6 in here, and going forward. All right, Pentagon Guider basically is the beginning of trade idea. Now you notice, right, just like we just saw ECL, all are like accumulating, right? This is what we call before the big major break, beginning of an uptrend. Who knows, month of July and August, you'll see a bit more uptrend. So we've done the Pentagon Guider tab menu, we share it. And for our Muslim friend, check out the wahid.com/my, because there is a need for Sharia compliance, right? Sharia compliance stocks. We hope we're able to get that eventually from our data provider in here. So our unique proposition, Pentagon Guider, right? Green to buy, red to sell, right? Easy kind of thing, and also incorporating all the AI insight into that Google sheet that I share with you in order to make the kind of. And also for those of you following stocks like Magnificent 7, check out the watch list. So when the green Pentagon comes, you'll be notified easily like here. All right. So definitely that is one of the things using Pentagon Guider in. So those are all right. So that's all I have for we still have a continuing member success in here. All right. And don't forget, subscribe to our YouTube, and of course, as usual, if you have any stocks you want me to look at, pencil it in or comment in there, and if I have any that you want me to analyze for the US market, I'm happy to do so. If not, don't forget to join our Telegram chat room or share that with your friend. All in said, I'll see you on Wednesday on our live Facebook at 9:30 for a market roundup update. Good morning and great on trading. Bye.